Okay, so we're going to be looking at these four definitions. We're going to fill these in. So a fraction here, a number that represents part of a blank or part of a blank. So this is a number that represents part of a whole, like a pizza. So you get a large pizza from Casey's or pizza or whatever. Usually you get 8 slices. Okay, if you eat a slice of that, that's 1/8 of the pizza. You're taking a fraction away. Okay, you're taking a part of it. You're not taking the whole thing unless you eat the whole thing. Good for you. But you're usually taking one piece at a time. That's a fraction or part of a set. Okay, now a ratio was a comparison of two blank by blank. We talked about this on Friday. Does anybody remember what the comparison of two different, starts with a Q? Quantities. By division. So if you notice, there's a trend here. All fractions, ratios, rates, and unit rates, we all use division because we're trying to simplify. It's like working with fractions. So a rate is just a ratio comparing two quantities with different kinds of units. So now we're talking about like 36 miles in 3 hours, $26 for 5 bags, 19 songs in 5 minutes. That's a rate. A rate is when you're comparing real world things, but with different units, like miles, inches, feet, or we're talking about money, like going to the grocery store and you buy like fruit. It's price per pound, like $1.29 per pound. Okay, that's a rate. Okay, a unit rate is a rate that is simplified so that it has a denominator of 1. Okay, so with a unit rate, we're just taking those rates that we have up here and dividing it so we can get a 1 on the bottom. That's a unit rate. That's the only difference. So guys, basically we're taking fractions today, just like Friday, and simplifying again. Just like we did on Friday. But this time, now we have to include the miles per hour because we're talking about different units.
So basically you just have to add the units.
Yep, exactly. All right, so down in the real world link now. It says, Desiree typed a 15-character text message in 5 seconds. Number 1, write the rate Desiree typed as a fraction. So how many did she type? 15. How many seconds did it take her? 5. So that means she typed 15 letters in 5 seconds. So how can we simplify this? What operation are we going to do? But how are we going to set what by doing what? What operation? Division. So we just use division, just like we did on Friday. We're still just simplifying fractions basically. Okay, but like I said, the only difference now is that we have these units. We're talking about miles, inches, all that stuff. Okay, once you have that, go ahead and go on to the next page. So once you have all that, go ahead and go on to the next page. All right. So we're going to start off by finding a unit rate. So like I was saying, a rate is just a ratio comparing two different quantities of different units. So it's just basically the same as Friday, but not, like I said, the units is what changes it. So a unit rate has a denominator of 1. So your goal is to always get 1 on the bottom when it asks for a unit rate. So if you start out with 15 characters to 5 seconds, you divide out of 5, and you get 3 characters per second. So that means she was typing 3 letters every second, is what that means. So number 1 here, all right? Samantha picked 45 oranges in 5 minutes. Write this as a rate, or write this rate as a unit rate. So what you do is we're going to set this up as a fraction. So 45 oranges is going to go on top because that's what they told us first. And on bottom, we're going to put 5 minutes. Okay? Now, they want us to turn this into a unit rate, so we have to divide out to where we get 1 on the bottom. Okay, what number are we going to simplify here? By here? What are we dividing out? 5. We want to get rid of this 5, so we're going to divide a 5 out because your goal is to get 1 on the bottom. So what is 45 divided by 5? 9. So we have 9 oranges. And then 5 divided by 5? 1. 1 minute. So what that means is that Samantha picked 9 oranges every minute. 9 oranges per minute. That's what that unit rate means. Okay, so all we did there was simplify. So number 2. The Australian dragonfly can travel 18 miles in 30 minutes. How far can the dragonfly travel in 1 minute? So we set it up just like them. 18 miles, 30 minutes. Okay, our goal now is to get 1 on the bottom. But we have to simplify. What can you divide out of both 18 and 30? What is the number that goes into both of them?
2.
Even higher. We want to get as big as we can go.
4. 6.
Well, let's try 6. So we're going to divide out of 6. So 18 divided by 6 is 3 miles. And 30 divided by 6 is 5 minutes. Okay, so looking at these two numbers, is there any way we're going to get 1 on the bottom by dividing? No, we can't. There's no numbers that work together with 3 and 5. So if that's the case, what it means is that your answer is actually a fraction because it's 3/5 of a mile every minute. That would be the rate. Because you cannot divide this, that fraction becomes your unit rate. Okay? If you cannot get a 1 on the bottom, like there's no way to divide it out, it becomes a fraction. Okay? So 3/5 of a mile every minute. So let's go to page 35. We're going to do a couple of these. Page 35. So number 1, 72 ounces in 6 states. They want us to write that as a unit rate. So you always leave it in the order they give you. So 72 ounces goes on top. 6 steaks on the bottom. All right, we want to get 1 on the bottom. So what are we going to divide by? What can we simplify by? Out of 72 and 6. Because we want to get 1 on the bottom. How do we get 1 on the bottom? What do we got to divide by? How do we get this to be 1? 6 divided by what gets you 1? 6. Most of the time, it's going to be that number on the bottom. So try that one first. If it doesn't work, then you know you're probably going to have a fraction. So 72 divided by 6. I'm going to do that off to the side. How many times does 6 go into 7? Once. What's 7 minus 6? 1. So we bring that 2 down. How many times does 6 go into 12? 2 times. So our answer is now 12 ounces. And what's 6 divided by 6?
1.
For 1 steak. So your unit rate is 12 ounces per steak. So each one of those steaks weigh 12 ounces. Okay, number 2. Same thing, 162 water bottles in 9 cases. So we do 162 waters on top, 9 cases on the bottom. What do you think we're going to divide by now? 9. Let's try 9 because remember, the goal is to get 1 on the bottom. So if we do 162 divided by 9, does 9 go into 1?
No.
Nope. Does it go into 16?
Yes.
Yeah, how many times?
Once.
Once. What's 16 minus 9?
7.
7. Bring that 2 down. How many times does 9 go into 72?
8.
8 times. Okay, so 9 times 8 is 72. We don't have anything left over. So 18 waters, 1 case. So your unit rate was 18 waters per case. Guys, all you're doing is setting up a fraction and dividing out a number. That's all this is. Just don't forget to label it. So let's go back, and I want you guys to try to do letter A back on page 32. Letter A. So I'll give you a few minutes. Go ahead and get started. So letter A. It says Emma downloaded 35 songs in 5 minutes. How many songs did she download per minute? So that's just finding the unit rate. Because once you set this fraction up, you have 35 songs over 5 minutes. And they want a 1 on the bottom. They want it per minute. So what can you divide by? 5. So we divide both of these by 5. How many songs do we have now? 7 songs, 1 minute. So that means 7 songs per minute. That's how much she's downloading every minute. Okay? That's what that represents. Any questions? Guys, it's just simplifying fractions. That's all it is. And then all you got to do is label. Just don't forget that label. All right, we're going to skip example 3. And we're going to jump down here to the bottom. So it says find a unit price. So unit price is basically the same thing, but we're talking about money. So you can use what you already know about unit rates to find the unit price. Unit price is just the cost per unit. Okay? To write a price as a unit price is just like setting it up like the unit rates there. $36 for 4 tickets. Well, that means $9 per ticket. So now you're just talking about money. That's the only difference here. You're still doing the exact same setup. So let's jump to the next page. We're going to look at example number 4. Yes.
I remember seeing the money and then the thing on the bottom on our beginning.
Oh yeah. Yep. So number 4 says 4 potted plants cost $88. What is the price per plant? Okay, so we set it up just like a fraction. $88 over 4 plants. You divide by 4, and you get $22 per plant. That's all it means. It's the only difference with unit price. Okay, any questions on that? So $22 per plant is basically what that means. So that's the only difference, is adding a dollar sign. That we're talking about money. All right, let's do number 6 down here at the bottom. So it says, for Carolina's birthday, her mom took her and her 4 friends to a water park. Carolina's mom paid $40 for 5 student tickets. What was the price for 1 student ticket? So this is the same unit price here. So how much did it cost her altogether? $40. So that's going to go on top. $40. How many tickets did she buy? 5 tickets. Okay, so we want to know how much it costs per ticket. So how do we figure that out? What do we have to divide out? 5. We're going to divide both of these by 5. What's $40 divided by 5? 8. $8. And then 5 divided by 5? So 1 ticket. So it's $8 per ticket. That's it. Oh, probably could scoop that up for you guys. So $8 per ticket. So the only difference with that is that it's money now. So your homework today, you got about 10 minutes to work on it. Okay, it's 6th grade, R9. So section R, number 9. Give me a minute, I'll put a star next to it.